Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours. We start today's show as we normally do with Louisiana news, and the longest serving member of the Louisiana legislature this past Friday, making a little history and causing a few waves as well. Francis Thompson, formerly a Democrat from Delhi, Louisiana, announcing last Friday that he is switching parties from Democrat to Republican. He is the longest serving, if memory serves correct, some 32 years in the Louisiana legislature, and now in issuing a statement which reads in part the following. Let me be clear, nothing has changed. There are values and principles that I firmly hold on to that guide my decisions. My conservative voting record over my years in the legislature speaks for itself. The push the past several years by Democrat leadership on both the national and state level to support certain issues does not align with those values and principles that are a part of my Christian life. It's relatively easy to pin down what issues Representative Thompson is talking about here, and I would venture a guess that there are lots of other folks not maybe as vocal or as willing to make it public at this point that are trending in the same direction. It is part and parcel of what we've heard from any number of individuals in recent memory saying, and I'll paraphrase here, I didn't leave the Democrat Party left me. This move now gives, for the first time in modern history, the Republicans a super majority here in the Louisiana legislature. Going to be interesting to watch all of this unfold as time goes on, and of course we will be right there to keep an eye on it for you. In other news, yet another tragic incident happening here in the capital city. This time, it's an 11-year-old murdered. Sadder still, it's a 17-year-old that allegedly opened fire on a vehicle with the family inside, striking the 11-year-old, and also, consequently, shooting himself during this episode. According to the BRPD, the teenager was involved in a shooting on Crestway Avenue that left 11-year-old Matthew Fortenberry dead. According to law enforcement, the 17-year-old booked on 1 count of first-degree murder, 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder, false imprisonment, and illegal discharge of a firearm. I don't know what it's going to take, y'all, for us to reach our young people, but this is occurring at an ever-accelerating rate, and it just continues to befuddle me that the adults and other elected officials seem to be completely at a loss at how to stem this tide. It is a sad commentary when you arrive at a point that in recent memory, I don't think any of us can remember all of the young people that are being so senselessly murdered in this city and in this state. And of course, as I always allude to, looking for someone else to solve this problem is not going to fix it. These are our children, and that is where the solution needs to start. And I'll leave it at that. In sad news, for those of us that have followed politics and elected officials throughout their tenure, this past week, a name that was a fixture in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana, for that matter, former coroner for East Baton Rouge Parish, Dr. Hippolyte Landry, dying recently at the age of 96. You know, I guess it's just a part of the human experience that many times individuals in the public eye, we only know what their public persona is. And many times, again, part of the human experience, we don't find out all these interesting things about individuals until they die. It was a life well lived and full of things that most of us probably knew absolutely nothing about. I had no idea that Dr. Hippolyte Landry was such an accomplished pilot. As a matter of fact, in 1969, he set several world records for aviation, including a 23-day solo trip around the world in a single-engine plane, using only a compass for navigation. Some of the records that he set in aviation some 54 years ago still stand today. On top of that, an accomplished musician playing harmonica, organ, trumpet, and many other instruments. Truly a one-of-a-kind individual, and to the family of the late Dr. Hippolyte Landry, please know that we will keep you in both our thoughts and in our prayers. By the way, funeral arrangements are still pending as we tape the show on Tuesday. Finally, in Louisiana news, you had to know that this one was coming. You had to know. We've watched in recent memory how fentanyl has reared its ugly head all over the place. And more by the tens of thousands, actually over 100,000 of our fellow Americans last year dying of a fentanyl overdose. Well, a bill has been pre-filed for the upcoming legislative session here in Louisiana that would strengthen or harden or make more severe, if you will, penalties for drug-related crimes that are tied to fentanyl. Current law says that anyone convicted of making or dealing fentanyl or carfentanil will be sentenced to hard labor for no less than 5 years and no more than 40 years, along with the fine of not over $50,000. If the new proposed bill, House Bill 90, is passed, Representative John Stefanski, by the way, Republican from Crowley, is sponsoring this bill. It would increase the penalties substantially. 28 grams or more, the sentence would be life in prison without the possibility of parole, probation, or suspension of sentence. Get the message, y'all. America, and more particularly in this case, Louisiana, has had enough. And I can't see who would vote against this legislation in the upcoming session, particularly when you consider here in the state of Louisiana, according to the Louisiana Department of Health, in 2017, statewide, around 200 people died from fentanyl. In 2021, 4 years later, that 200 had ballooned to over 1,000 people. Again, it's going to be hard to see any legislator voting against increasing the penalties for fentanyl-related overdoses in Louisiana. By the way, the area, Acadiana, where the representative hails from, saw a 219% increase in drug overdoses from 2016 to 2021 in Acadiana. If by chance you are considering getting into that line of work, just know that the penalties are going, if this bill is passed, and again, I see no reason why it won't, the penalties are going up exponentially. But the good news is, according to Karine Jean-Pierre and the Biden-Harris White House, fentanyl is at historic low levels in America. Who would have ever thought? First break of today's show. It is Tuesday, and of course that means when we come back, it is time for yet another illustrious edition of, now that's just stupid. We got a doozy for you today. You're going to want to hear this one. That's next when we continue the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Hey, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. It is second segment of today's show. And, of course, that means, Marty, if you would, I think there's a gentleman there that may require some assistance. Be that as it may. It is the second segment of Tuesday, which means it is time for another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. You'll notice, as the graphic shows you, we're not talking regular STUPID. We're talking an entirely different level of stupid, which in this case would require its own new word and its own spelling. Hence, STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start, surprise, with CNN. They finally got a story right. I know. They blew the Russian collusion story. They blew the Kyle Rittenhouse story. The Trump insulted the troops story. I don't have enough time left in the show to tell you all of the stories they've blown. But they send a crew to San Francisco to do a story on rampant crime in the city. You already see where this is going, right? So they go to City Hall to shoot the story. And what happens? They get robbed. According to producer Jason Kravarick, quote, I was at City Hall in San Francisco to do an interview for CNN. We had security to watch our rental car. Thieves broke in and stole passports and other belongings in under 4 seconds. Finally, they got one right. Rampant crime in San Francisco. Now, what's really going to be interesting is to watch them defend the practices of the Democrat-run leadership in that city. But, nah, CNN would never do that. Right? Wink, wink. Secondly, I guess this falls under the category of, thanks, Joe. Leave it to the Biden-Harris administration to give us an economy so bad that Dollar Tree now is the $1.25 tree. So last week, Dollar Tree announced that because the price of eggs has gotten so high that they're going to stop selling them. There's not enough room in the market for them to make a profit. So instead of having this stuff just take up space and we can't make a profit, we'll just say the heck with selling y'all eggs until the price comes back down. Joe Biden and his economic policies, huh? Of course, you already knew this if you've been to the dollar store or any other store, for that matter, in recent memory. Number 3, speaking of stupid, and inflation, and the fact that everybody is suffering right now. Forgive me, y'all, I got hiccups. I'm trying to squelch them. First time that's ever happened in 43 years of broadcasting. I must be growing. Isn't that what the old folk tell you when you get hiccups? You must be growing. Think all my growing days are done, but I digress. With everybody hurting, the economy being in the shape that it's in, not a whole lot of people are entertaining a pay raise. What's the old adage? But there's always one. Here in Louisiana, for the upcoming legislative session, House Bill 149, authored by State Representative Joseph Marino, independent, would nearly quadruple 4 times the current salary for legislators. You heard me right. This bill would increase by 4-fold what these part-time legislators make. Now, I already know what you're going to hear. Well, we're only in session part-time, but we have to serve our constituents year-round. I will leave to you to debate the merits of that argument. But House Bill 149, if passed, in addition to quadrupling the salary take-home pay of legislators, would also hike the annual salary for the President of the Senate from $32,000 to $114,000 a year, and the Speaker pro tem in the House of Representatives, the salary would go from $24,500 a year to $87,400. Now, I don't know about you, but the first thing that comes to mind is the old saying, democracies fail when people learn they can vote themselves raises. I understand this guy's an independent that is proposing this legislation. He is doing folks on both sides of the aisle, a serious favor in that no single party will have to defend itself against this lunacy. In times like these, for you to propose a bill using taxpayer dollars to quadruple the pay of individuals that, if you were to ask today, randomly, 500 Louisianians, just average working folk, do you think the legislature deserves a pay raise? You already know what those 500 people would tell you, right? Yeah, you know. At some point, y'all, sanity has to make a comeback. At some point. But apparently, we've not reached that point just yet. Finally, apparently, people halfway around the world watch the Clarence Bug Show. And apparently, I don't know, maybe it's off of social media or something to that effect. People have decided, by God, we are not going to let other people outdo us with stupid stuff. We want to be number one. So enter the good folks in the armed forces of Ireland. You heard me right. The Irish Defense Forces recently decided we're going to have to replace our chaplain. And if you know anything at all about the military, you know that chaplain, particularly in times of war, conflict, battle, ministers to the soldiers' spiritual needs. So recently, the Irish Defense Forces went through a group of folks that had expressed an interest in becoming the chaplain. One in particular, they looked at the resume and said, nah, I don't think this would be a good fit. And as a result, a lawsuit was filed alleging discrimination. How dare you not consider this person for the job of chaplain for the armed forces? Well, come to find out, John Hamill is the guy that is claiming y'all discriminated against me by not considering me to be the chaplain. Well, maybe, just maybe. I'm going to go out on a limb and make a wild guess here. Maybe they didn't consider John Hamill to be the chaplain because he describes himself as, quote, a member of the Congregationalist Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. So let me get this straight. You are a member of the Congregationalist Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and you want to be the chaplain for Ireland's defense forces? STOOOOOOPID. Stupid. Leave it to Ireland. Make me have to adjust my graphic. TOOPID does not begin to describe these people. But the good news is, next Tuesday, there'll be even more stupid. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, looks like you might have to wait a few more days before the return of America's favorite new TV series. America's Got, fill in the blank. That's next when we continue the Clarence Bug Show only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving. Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I'm going to try to give him a few seconds to get back to the truck. What say again? He'll be all right. If you missed the last segment, in 43 years of broadcasting, I have never suffered through what is one of the ultimate nightmares of on-air talent. Hiccups. Last segment, clear out of the blue. Hiccups from nowhere. You have any idea how challenging it is to formulate ideas, translate it into words, and the whole time you're trying to gauge your body to see when the next is going to come? But good news is you're never too old to learn. And Marty, as Alan was telling me this, Marty, I could see out of the corner of my eye sitting there shaking his head saying, fool, that expletive deleted ain't gonna work. I hadn't had one since. Alan Traylor, the wise man that he is, came in during the commercial break, said, you want to get rid of them? I'm like, what do you mean, do I want to get? Of course I want to get rid of the freaking hiccups while I'm on air. He said, I got something that'll do it for you. I'm like, is it legal? He said, yeah, come on, bro, come on. What he had me do was sit down in a chair on the floor, bend over as far as possible, and drink water while bent over and swallow the water. And I was kind of like Marty. I'm saying in the back of my mind, this expletive deleted ain't gonna work. They're gone. Now we'll see if that holds up till the end of the show. I mentioned in the last segment that it looks like you may have to wait a few days before the premiere of America's next long-awaited TV series. Is it America's Got Talent? Nope. Is it American Idol? Nope. What is it? America's Got Trump. Can you believe these idiots dredging this stuff up all over again? And I guess it really shouldn't be that big of a surprise. In New York, Marty, New York City, where last year they dismissed like half of all felony cases that were filed, but I digress. Even folks that are diehard, ardent, avid Donald Trump haters are coming out and saying, y'all, really, this is just ridiculous. This case is so weak that even federal prosecutors said in the past, nah, that's BS. That's a BS case. But leave it to this guy, Bragg, to want to pursue it. Andrew McCarthy, joining a list of other folks, saying that, really, Democrats, really, are y'all going to subject America to this crap again? But it goes to show you there's no bottoming out of the hatred for Donald Trump by those on the left. And you know, a thinking person, after watching an episode, a situation where over and 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 over again, you're going after the same person, same person, same person, same person, same person. At some point you start to realize, that person must be doing something right for him to hate him this much. What did Donald J. Trump tell us years ago? They're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. Donald Trump upset their little apple cart, side deals, corruption, and everything else so bad that they're going to stop at nothing to try and besmirch this guy. So once again, America will find itself sitting through another bunch of crap from those on the left. In the National Review online, Andrew McCarthy, former Chief Assistant U.S. Attorney, guy who has never, ever been a Donald Trump fan, posted the following, quote, "A blatantly partisan exercise of raw power." He goes on to say, "This is a classic. Individuous," and I have no idea what that word is, that's my homework for the day. "A classic individuous, blatant use of raw power. It's hard to think of anything that will more rile up Trump's base and anger other Republicans, regardless of their distaste for Trump, who will find this maneuver anything other than despicable." Alan Dershowitz, also not a fan of Donald Trump, but blasting the decision, saying, quote, and of course it just hit refresh, saying, quote, "All decent people," and I am assuming that would include you, "whether politically opposed to Mr. Trump or supportive of his candidacy, all decent people should be concerned about this weaponizing of the prosecutor's office for the political purpose of preventing a potential candidate from running for office." This is proof positive that those on the left have no shame, none, to the point, mind you, of making themselves and making this country look like a laughing stock. Speaking of laughing, after news broke that you could probably expect the indictment and arrest this week, Chris Rock, comedian extraordinaire, was at the Mark Twain Prize ceremony at the Kennedy Center, where they were honoring Adam Sandler for his lifetime achievement. And just so happened that Nancy Pelosi happened to be in the crowd. Chris Rock asked the following, quote, "Are you guys really going to arrest Trump? Do you know that this is only going to make him more popular? It's like arresting Tupac. He's just going to sell more records. Are you stupid?" Well, of course they're stupid. They're liberals. You can't figure out that these people are stupid, Chris Rock? Think about it, Chris. Think about it. Same people you're talking about here will tell you that your daughter can be your son. Sound pretty stupid? I think so as well. These are the same people that will tell you, well, boys ought to be able to compete against girls. There's no biological difference. Of course, these are also the same people that can't define a woman because they're not a biologist. And you have to ask, are you stupid? Of course they're stupid. They're liberals. You hadn't figured this out yet, Chris? I only hope that you're not as stupid. See, this is what happens when you vote Democrat. Yeah, but Clarence, I didn't vote Democrat for president, but you enabled the party. See, every single time you vote for a Democrat, yeah, but it was only school board. Here's what happens, y'all, for those of y'all that slept through civics. When you vote Democrat, say in your local school board election, the national party, Democrat Party, is then able to say, aha, you see, we have Democrats in this position, this position, this position, and this gives us the power as Democrats to push certain agendas and legislation. That's how you end up with your child behind your back being taught by their teacher that it doesn't matter that you're a biological male, you can be a female. Woohoo! That's how it ends up happening. And yet, even though you're sitting there saying, I know hell well that a boy can't be a girl. But this is how you end up with that kind of crap. Again, I am not telling you to be a Republican. Be an independent. Be a libertarian. Be no party. But for God's sake, y'all, don't be a freaking Democrat. Unless, of course, you just want to be stupid. In which case, ain't much I can do to help you. Sorry. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Tuesday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I don't have no more hiccups. You're never too old to learn, folks. You're never too old to learn. If you're wondering, what in the world is this boy talking about now? 43 years I managed to make it through broadcasting. Never had hiccups on air. And for some strange reason, last segment, up they pop. It is a broadcaster's worst nightmare. But being one that gravitates to the opinion you're never too old to learn, Alan Traylor came in and told me, I can fix that for you, bro. And of course, I'm like, all right, what kind of foolishness is he coming with? But it worked. God honest truth, it worked. That is something that I'm going to remember Alan for the rest of my life for this. Couple of quick notes to pass along to you and yours as we get ready to exit today. Don't know how many of you noticed last week there were 2 instances of weapons being found on school campuses, public schools here in EBR. And as a result, they being school officials and law enforcement, are attempting to be proactive here. So as a result, they have announced that they will be conducting random searches for drugs and weapons using, mind you, canines. Now, if you're an animal lover, you're Louisianan, you already know that canines have a super enhanced sense of smell, and if they want to find it, they're going to find it. So I say all this to say, parents, hopefully you have had the conversation with your children already. And if not, you need to do it soon. Because law enforcement, parents, school administrators, staff personnel, etc., they've had enough of people bringing guns, knives, and drugs into schools. And in an effort to get ahead of the curve on this, they are going to be searching everywhere. So parents, do the right thing. Let your children know ahead of time that this is not acceptable, and there will be consequences to their actions if caught. And again, these will be random, unannounced searches. They will show up and then make the announcement that school's on lockdown until we go through and check everything out. And I know what some of y'all are saying. Clarence, you always talking about smaller government. You know, I don't think that you ought to be encouraging this to happen. Well, there's a simple way to solve that problem. Stop bringing the contraband on school grounds. Stop doing it. Searches will go away. Don't have to worry about an infringement on your rights. Pretty simple proposition. Then again, common sense still manages to evade a certain segment of our population, even to this day. Another Louisiana story. It is a part of everyday life, and more recently, with the advent of the Biden-Harris administration, everybody now is more aware than ever of inflation and the day-to-day cost of living. Well, Aaron Kemp is with a company called Ownerly. Owner, L-Y, Ownerly. And what they do is compare utility rates all across the country. Find out what people are paying every month for their utility bills and how that averages out with the rest of the country. Their most recent survey finds that, Marty, take a guess. What do you think the average utility bill is for a home in Louisiana? How much? $350. Wow. Interesting. Quote, in Louisiana, our study found that the average monthly bill was around $151. Mine last month, I want to say, was $133, if memory serves correct. So I'm right there in the average, albeit a little below average. By the way, that comes out to about $1,800 a year. It is also $22 a month more than the year before. And of course, you can probably chalk that up to inflation. Nationwide, according to Ownerly, we have the 7th highest utility bills in the nation. I don't have the numbers in front of me to say what they are paying average in the highest rated states in America. I'm just glad we're not one of them. It is kind of refreshing to see a case where Louisiana typically is at the top of all the bad lists and at the bottom of all the good lists. But this is one of those instances where I'm sure we'll take it and be happy about it. $151, of course, now we still have a year and change of the Biden-Harris administration, and the way things are going, that $151 a month average will probably be higher before all is said and done. Yet another reason for us to say, thanks, Joe Biden. Appreciate you, bruh. Appreciate you sincerely. That being said, I'm going to beat Marty to the punch today. You already know the drill, guys and girls. My time's up, and I got to go. But yep, this day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I am certainly inclined to give it to you. You know what? You're right. I will not even attempt to argue with you this day. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you do realize by now that he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, best single piece of advice you're going to get all day, son. There ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves. Let's take care of each other. And we'll see you soon. In the meantime, I ain't got no more hiccups. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate you, brother. Love you much. We'll see you soon.